History. 1929, an international conference was held in Washington, D.C. in attempt to control the discharge of oil into the sea. 1948, IMCO was established in Geneva and changed to IMO in 1982. History. 1954, International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution of the Sea by Oil, OILPO 54. Hosted by U.K. Entered into force in 1958. Distinction was made between oil and oily mixtures from machinery space and from cargo tanks. Oil was defined as crude oil, fuel oil, and heavy diesel oil. Prohibited zones were laid down for the discharge of cargo oil into the sea. 50 nanometers/100 ppm/reception facility. History. 1958, IMO assumed OILPO 54 and entered into force. The depository/secretariat function in relation to convention were transferred to IMO. 1967, Torrey Canyon incident and the biggest pollution incident at that time, and IMO decided to convene on 1969 in response to the incident. They raised question about the technical and legal aspects. 1969, IMO decided to convene an international conference on 1973. Amendments on the requirements regarding the quality of the effluents. Limitations on the quantities of oil which tankers were permitted to discharge into the sea. History. International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, 1973. And the Protocol of 1978 relating thereto. MARPOL 73 of 78. MARPOL, 1973/1978 IMO adopted. 1973, IMO adopted International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, MARPOL 73. 1978, IMO held a conference on TSPP, Tanker Safety Pollution Prevention, and it includes tanker design and operation. History. 1983, October 2nd, MARPOL 73 of 78 entered into force for Annex 1 and 2. The condition to entry into force. States become party to the convention by first implementing Annex I and Annex II. MARPOL 73 of 78. MARPOL 73/78 is the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, 1973 as modified by the Protocol of 1978. MARPOL is short for Marine Pollution and 73/78 short for the years 1973 and 1978. MARPOL 73/78 is one of the most important international marine environmental conventions. It was designed to minimize pollution of the seas, including dumping, oil and exhaust pollution. International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships adopted on November 1973 modified by a Protocol of 1978. It contains comprehensive provisions compared to the previous conventions. Incident in Alaska. In 1989 March 24, Prince William Sound, Alaska. Tanker Exxon Valdez hit an undersea reef and spilled 1 million gallons of oil into the water, causing the worst oil spill in the U.S. history and probably the one which gained the biggest media coverage to date. The U.S. demanded action and duly got it. The U.S. introduced its Oil Pollution Act of 1990, OPA 90, making it mandatory for all tankers calling at U.S. port to have double hull. Various meaning of pollution. The word pollution defined as something that makes a pure thing impure. Scientifically, pollution is the chemical, gaseous and organic waste, which contaminate air, soil, or water. Anything that pollutes this Earth's element is called pollutant. Pollution. Any inconvenience or damage caused by human activities to humans, plants, animals, and to our environment as a whole by spreading compounds to air, water or land. Water pollution is referred to alteration of water which reduces the quality of its usefulness to people, plants, animals, and properties. Air pollution, it also atmospheric pollution. Atmosphere outside our home may contain pollutants such as dust, smoke, vapors, etc. Sound pollution refers to any sound that is too loud and irritating to human ears is called sound pollution. Hazardous categorized. Hazardous waste can be categorized in accordance to the following: chemical waste, radioactive substance waste, biological waste, flammable waste, explosive waste. Land-based sources, byproducts of industry, runoff from agricultural pesticides and herbicides, effluents discharged from urban areas, exploration and exploitation activities. Effects of marine pollution. It blankets the surface, interfering with the oxygen exchange between the sea and the atmosphere. Blankets the seabed, interfering with the growth of marine life. Elements are the most toxic and can enter the food chain. Oil may enter seawater distilling inlets, and it may be deposited on tidal mudflats, again with detrimental result. Interferes with the recreational of beaches. Types of pollutants to the marine environment. Oil means petroleum in any form, including crude oil, fuel oil, sludge and refined products. Subject for provision of Annex 2. Noxious liquid substance means any substance indicated in the pollution category of Chapter 17 and 18 of the International Bulk Chemical Code, under the provision of Regulation 6.3 as falling into Category X, Y, Z. Harmful substances. Those substances which identified as marine pollutants in the International Maritime Dangerous Good Code, IMDG Code. Reporting of incidents. Article 8 of MARPOL 73/78 requires ship's master to report incident involving the discharge of harmful substance into the sea. Actions by coastal state is often necessary, and it is important that states are informed of any incident resulting in the discharge of harmful substance. Dumping, dispose waste. Jettison, throw or drop from a ship. Contact list. Special area means sea area where, for recognized technical reasons in relation to its oceanographical and ecological condition and to particular character to its traffic, the adoption of special mandatory methods for the prevention PFC pollution by sea oil is required. Reporting of incidents. Contents of initial report as name of ship, call sign, flag, frequency or radio guarded channel, name, address, telex, and telephone number of owner and representative type of ship. Party to MARPOL 73/78. Coastal state, main function of which is surveillance. Port state, main function of which is for inspection and, if necessary, detention. Flag state, main function of which is compliance. Flag state responsibility. Regulates safety, manning of ship and competence of crew. Sets construction, design, equipment, and seaworthiness standards. Enforce regulation on high seas. Must inspect at periodic intervals. Issue an IOPP certificate. Structure of SOPEP should be based on IMO Resolution MEPC 54/32, adopted on June 3, 1992, called Guidelines for the Development of the Shipboard Oil Pollution Emergency Plans. MARPOL 73/78. MARPOL Convention consists of 20 articles, 2 protocols and 6 annexes. MARPOL Annex I contain 39 regulations, 7 chapters, 3 appendices. MARPOL 73/78's technical annexes. Amendments adopted by IMO in July 2011. IMO Marimo MARPOL 73/78. IMO MARPOL 73/78. Entry into force January 2013. Annex I. Oil. October 2, 1983. 150 countries. 99% world tonnage. Annex 2. Noxious liquid substances carried in bulk. April 6, 1987. 150 countries. 99% world tonnage. Annex 3. Noxious substances carried in package form. April 6, 1987. 133 countries. 96% world tonnage. Annex 4. Sewage. September 27, 2003. 124 countries. 82% world tonnage. Annex V. Garbage. December 31, 1988. New rules from January 3, 2013. 119 countries. 82% world tonnage. Annex 6. Air pollution. May 19, 2005. 56 countries. 46% world tonnage.